Okay. I go to get a phone. Phone store doesn't have the phone. I don't dare call them first. Well, not that particular phone store. Because they'd say, yeah, we got the phone, and then I get there and they wouldn't have the phone. But they didn't have the phone anyway, so they didn't have the phone last time I was there. Well, actually, I was going to look at another phone, and they didn't have that phone. And so this time I went to look at another phone. They didn't have that phone, and they didn't have the other phone. If there's a phone that I'm going to get, they don't have it. So, then I went to the store to go get some food, groceries, whatever you want to call it. And they did not have not one thing that I had actually gone to the store. I got some other things while I was there because I was there, but they didn't have even one of the things that I went to the store specifically to get. So here's a good bit of truth for you. People have lost their minds, man. You go into stores, not everybody, but bunches of people wearing masks, not bunches, just people wearing masks, like, hey, and a lady wouldn't even hand me a receipt. She wouldn't even hand it to me. She put it on the counter. Now, she'll touch everything that you set there on the counter and put it in a bag. And she'll touch whatever it is that you give to her, but she won't. Yeah, people have lost their minds, man. They don't think about everything they touch, somebody else has touched on people. Well, they wipe down every product that they buy and put on the shelves. And then that's weird. No, that's not true. But y'all don't think because the government has got people, maybe not y'all, you might be watching this, you might actually have your head together. Or, maybe they say that our brain is two sides, but at least maybe some of us use both sides of our brain at the same time, Why? Because of something that's fake that the government used to divide people, because they divided people socially, religiously, politically, economically, every way they could think of. Then it was like, well, dang, there's all these YouTube videos of people doing nice, kind things for each other, and people are starting to give each other hugs a little more often than what they used to, and they're kind of developing a sense of community because the internet has kind of brought the world together. What are we going to do? We'll make a fake thing, and we'll make people think that they need to stand 6 feet apart from each other and wear masks, because they shouldn't actually have to trust that God and nature or nurture or whatever it is was able to work together well enough to make a plan where everybody could live together without being scared of each other. But see, that's what they want. They want people scared of each other. That's why anything that they can say bad goes on the news, because they want you to be scared of unemployment and crime rates and world wars and terrorists and all this kind of stuff, because they want you to live in fear. How are you gonna, that's what they want. And so when they do that and people agree to it, they win. Now I'm not even afraid to die. Right? So if something bad happens to me, you know, I was like, the worst thing that can happen is I can die, and then I get born again. Right? Now, some Christians don't like to say that. They say they don't like to think about being born again as actually being born again, even though Jesus told people it was actually God, but they renamed it Jesus. And they said to people, he says, somebody said to him, he said, if you're not born again, you can't go to heaven. And somebody said to him, what, am I supposed to enter again into my mother's womb, or am I supposed to get born, actually physically born again? And he said, marvel not. He says, what does that seem like such a crazy idea? You think when you're dead, that's it? Yeah, and you might not remember. I mean, I know that I was on earth, but I don't remember every single experience. But people say wisdom, and I don't think wisdom is actually the way you're supposed to say wisdom. Whatever. But I think I have the knowledge from that, anyways, experience. But most people don't want to. It seems, maybe not y'all, but other people out there, it seems like they don't have no faith in. Mormons say that God has a body of, you know, regular body, earthly body. But here I am saying, okay, here I am. Here's me in my earthly body. But they don't want to believe that. They want me to have some kind of superpowers, like, I don't know, superpowers. I guess, as far as from what I've heard, superpowers are what countries have that have the ability to be your God, because they can destroy all the earth with a push of a button. There's your superpower. God is love. Man, I'm love. That's about it. So what can I do? I can give you a hug. Well, that might. I was saying this the other day. I actually proved with brains and math and language and all this kind of stuff. I actually proved to a guy the other day that I was God. Now I proved to him in a scholarly way. I guess is the best way to say that. But I messed up because there was a moment where I felt like I was supposed to give him a hug. And if I'd have done that, I think he'd have went, oh my God, I wouldn't want him to say that. But, but I think that's where so I learned something about that. But even though I proved to him in a scholarly way, anybody intellectually honest at that moment would have, while I was, explaining that or showing him that, anybody being intellectually honest would have went, oh, wow. Yeah. But he looked right at me and said, you're not God. Now that may have been because of just, I don't know if it was I don't know how long it was, but it wasn't very, a minute or 2, 3, 4, whatever. I felt like I was supposed to give him a hug, and I didn't do it because the guy's an ex-military dude, and he talks about things that I don't really find as redeeming qualities in people when they talk about, I beat somebody up, or I don't think that's anything to brag about or even talk about. You should be embarrassed if you did that. If you protected yourself or defended yourself, and you're, talking about that experience, that's one thing. But to be actually, sitting there saying, well, I did this to somebody once, and I did that, and And I've talked to people like that. So, so I didn't. When I felt like I was supposed to give the guy a hug, I did. And, but anyways, so why am I even talking about that? Oh, because people, because I've been able to prove using YouTube. You know, I say I keep saying I say I'm God, or I should say I'm God, or I shouldn't be embarrassed. I should just say it, because as God 2,000 years ago, it took 30 years to be able to go, you know what, I'm God. But even then, people would write it. Maybe it's true. Maybe I did at times say, well, actually, I'm the Son of God, because people don't want to hear that you're actually God on earth. They don't want to hear that. Not if you're in a physical body. I guess they want to hear just some loudspeaker from space saying, I am the Lord God, your Father in heaven. Luke. I don't, I don't know what they want, but they don't want God to have a physical body. That's why most people didn't believe God was here 2,000 years ago. And the government and religion don't want you to have faith in a God that actually just shows up here as a man, because that's why they put, God has all these crazy, he's going to come flying out of the clouds and all this kind of stuff. Because that way, when I get here, you won't actually have faith in me, and they'll keep having the power over you, over your minds. That's why government is called government. Govern is control, and mind, or governmental, governmental organization, GMO. Maybe it's not GMO, but governmental is govern thought, or govern mind. It's thought control, brain control, mind control. And that's what they did with this whole, stand 6 feet apart from each other and wear a mask and don't have faith in each other. Don't look down to find God. Look down to find your authority in books and scriptures and law. And look down to find your God and your authority. Or to look up at our very tall buildings and be impressed with us. Look at what we made with, having you look down. We were able to make these big, tall buildings so you can look up to us. And that's what government and religion is. That's what it is. And because they don't want you to look at each other. They don't want that. Because when people do that, they start to see that there's love there. They find it there somewhere. And if they, that's just, that's what was happening with the internet. So that's why you have COVID. That's why it's there. Okay, so I guess that's video. And I always like to say that I love you. And, well, is there anything better to say than that? Yeah, I love you. And I know most people out there just trying to do their best, but a lot of times people don't think, oh, I got a really neat video coming up. You're going to need to watch it. It's about the Garden of Eden. You make sure you want to watch that, because you'll go, oh, wow. I think I did. I think I've got some good stuff for that. So anyways, love you.